Learn to accept the unacceptable? Nah. I choose to live in my reality where the 2016 election didn't happen. Hello, Internet! Welcome to Tales of Showcase, where we perceive that we're awesome, so we are. I'm your host, the Watcher of New Earth. Welcome back to Animation Month, everybody. Today we're going to be looking at Doctor Strange. God, I wish. No, today we'll be looking at an animated movie about the Good Doctor, all the way back from 2007. So, can this movie really be as good as the one that premiered this year? Nope. But, since I like to punish myself, let's look at Doctor Strange from 2007. Or Doctor Strange the Sorcerer Supreme, as it's known in some places. The movie opens with two men running in the sewers. Unfortunately, one of them is grabbed from under the water and dragged away. Oh crap, it's a Dianoga! The trash compactor monster from Star Wars A New Hope. The second guy reaches the ladder and calls up to another worker, but he's taken too. The guy on the surface is able to get into the car and leave. As he does, he passes by a group of 5 staring at the sewer. Suddenly, after ripping a giant hole in the ground, an invisible force crushes a nearby car. Okay, invisibility, so that counts out the Dianoga, but it still leaves in the Indominus Rex, or, even worse, Harvey the Rabbit. He's a thing! Google it! The group uses their medallions, which unlock an all-seeing eye, which are totally not the Eye of Agamotto. And they're able to see the beast. They engage it, using some neat magic effects, but the beast manages to get away. They pursue it, but in an effort not to be seen, they conjure a tornado to hide the battle. Because nothing says inconspicuous like a random tornado in the middle of New York City. The battle heads into traffic as the tornado buffets cars around. The battle passes by Tony Stark, Stephen Strange, and it seems like he can see them through their enchantments. They corner the beast and are able to defeat it. It's revealed that the bearded leader is Mordo and the older-looking one is Wong, both key players in the Doctor Strange mythos. As they disappear, Strange watches, but only seems slightly surprised to see them vanish. I swear his voice makes it sound like he's seen a ladybug outside a windowsill, instead of, freaking out because he might have a concussion because he frickin' sees people vanish. The credits roll and it's actually really nice. It's a variation of the silhouette credits, but this seems like it's being painted on, which I think goes along great with this Strange vibe. We join Strange at the hospital where his assistant reads off potential patients to him. I, however, am distracted by Strange looking like he's not really walking, but merely moving his torso around. It just looks awkward. Even when Strange shuts his assistant out and he crashes into the door, it just looks off. I'd normally let something like this slide, but it's a common thing in the movie where the characters just act like they have metal sculptures in their bodies, and it's supposed to pass off as real-life movement. Strange is uninterested in all of the cases as there's either no money in it or no recognition. He locks himself in his office and is looking at an old picture of himself when someone walks in. It's an administrator at the hospital, and it seems that he's been getting complaints about Stephen. Mainly that he doesn't give a crap. Stephen says he'll meet with the doctor, and then we get a shot of the floor. Thank you. I might not have known there was a floor there if you hadn't shown me. Stephen's been called to the coma ward where a 12-year-old is stuck in a coma due to irregularities in her brain. Strange says he's never seen anything like this, but the doctor that called him in reveals dozens of children with the same symptoms. Strange inspects the girl, but he suddenly gets a vision of a figure in fire. Oh crap, it's Sauron again. Strange is freaked out by this and leaves, causing an outburst from the mother. You can tell that accent's authentic. It really sounds like that was her first language. Strange goes back to his office to look at the picture again. This triggers a flashback. It's revealed that the girl in the picture was his sister, and the flashback shows them fooling around. At least, I think it does. I'm distracted by the really awkward run they do. Man, it's so annoying. As they're done, playing, bonding, what do you call this? She gets a headache and collapses. Back in the present, Stephen drives home on an empty road. He sees the fiery figure in his rearview mirror, and he begins to lose control of the car. This isn't helped by the huge crowd of children on the highway. No doubt, hopping onto the highway to protest Donald Trump's win. He sees the girl from the hospital, and as he runs her over, he runs off the bridge, falling quite a ways down. The voice acting is really stale here. It's like he's barely interested. It's the same in the next scene when he's told his hands are broken. It's like he can't decide which emotion to give, so he goes with none of the above. Back at home, Strange is having difficulty with the most basic of tasks, and he's starting to lose it. He calls up the administrator from before and says he needs any leads. We get a montage of various procedures that Strange undergoes, but they prove fruitless. At the end of his rope, Strange decides to end it all and jump off a bridge. As he's about to land, he finds himself back on the bridge. Damn it, Strange, you can't even fall off a bridge correctly. He's approached by Wong from earlier, who gives him a map and tells him to go to Tibet. Strange listens and actually gets there. However, as he's following the map, the wind takes it and he finally loses it. Suddenly, a large city appears and Strange finally arrives. Wong greets him and takes him to the Ancient One, the Sorcerer Supreme. Strange disbelieves in the promise of spiritual healing, but realizes he has no alternative, so he's allowed to stay. Wong and Mordo lead a group of sorcerers to fight a pack of shadowhounds in New York. A lot of the techniques in the fight are pretty cool, although I still am distracted by how stiff the characters seem at times. When they return, the sorcerers have fallen. The Ancient One believes that the creatures are becoming more confident because their master, Dormammu, is increasing in strength. We cut back to Strange in his room where he looks at his picture, triggering another flashback. This time it's revealed that Strange's sister, April, has a brain condition and no doctor wants to perform a surgery on her. Steven tells her not to worry as he'll be getting his license soon, and he'll perform the surgery himself. This can only lead to good. We join Strange back in the present as they're having him demolish a wall. He does so completely, but the next day they've rebuilt it. Dr. Strange, Sorcerer Supreme, Master of Mystic, Victim of Cruel Joke. Strange gets fed up and confronts Wong. Wong tells him to quit thinking about his hands and Strange leaves. The Ancient One tells Wong to let him go. Strange collapses a little ways outside the city and has another flashback. This time it's his sister on the operating table and how he wasn't able to save her. Now, this part really intrigues me about the movie. As far as I know, this kind of incident never happened in the comics. In fact, I couldn't even find an April Strange outside of this movie. And I wouldn't be so bothered by the addition if the execution just didn't make sense. Because two things happen when you lose someone in comics. You either take that as inspiration to become a hero, or you make yourself a jerkwad and become a supervillain. Which one does it seem that Strange took in this movie? I don't know, just kind of seems to paint him in a bad light in my eyes. It's kind of an unnecessary and frankly bad addition to the Doctor Strange story. However, the Ancient One arrives in the flashback and tells Steven that he needs to let go of this moment. He needs to realize that nothing could have saved his sister, and he needs to move on and not always blame himself for her death. Steven more or less accepts this and returns. And with that, the Ancient One says he's ready. Yeah, he did get frustrated with us and just leave, and he probably hasn't changed all that much in 5 minutes. But gosh darn it, I think he's ready. The Ancient One goes to Strange as he's attempting to move blocks of the wall. Strange says that the wall is getting stronger every day. The Ancient One says that Strange needs to simply perceive things differently, and then drags the block with one hand. Strange tries this, and sure enough, this fixes his hands. Oh, I get it! So if I perceive that me and Daisy Ridley are in love and married, it'll come true! Daisy? Miss Ridley? You're full of crap. You know that, right, movie? In New York, Mordo leads the charge against two monsters. However, it seems evident that Mordo is slipping as his recklessness leads to the death of several sorcerers. When confronted by the Ancient One, Mordo says that he feels he should be Sorcerer Supreme as the Ancient One is getting older. Oh yeah, call him out on his age. That'll get you the job. The Ancient One tells Mordo that it's not his destiny to become Sorcerer Supreme, but rather to train the next one. This leads to an intense training session between Mordo and Steven, as Mordo seemingly tries to kill Steven. However, it seems like Strange's power is increasing as he's not only able to defeat Mordo, but also absorb his power and use it against him. After seeing the hostility, Wong becomes Steven's teacher. Anyone else think it's beyond stupid that they decided to have Mordo teach Steven? I mean, that's like telling someone they're fired, and then telling them to train their replacement. You're just asking for trouble. With Wong, Steven begins to excel. After a quick shave, Steven joins the other sorcerers, amazed that they made it to the city through a portal. You saw that old man move a cinder block like it was a pillow! How do things still amaze you? At the Sanctum Sanctorum, the sorcerer's base in New York, the Ancient One shows Strange the Nexus, the connecting point between all universes. It's revealed that the Ancient One defeated Dormammu long ago and locked him away. When Strange sees Dormammu, he realizes it's the same figure he saw in the kid's dream. He tells this to the group, and they realize that Dormammu is going to return through the children's dreams. Mordo suggests that they kill them all. Truly, he was destined to be the Sorcerer Supreme. Strange heads to the hospital and is successful in waking many of the children. Mordo, however, feeling betrayed, hops into one of the dreams and tells Dormammu that he wants to join him. In the city, the final monster is a swarm of carnivorous woobats? Can't decide if that's pants-crappingly horrifying or silly as all hell. Oh wait, yes I can. It's silly as hell. Mordo, of course, betrays Strange as the remaining children get up and leave. The swarm of flying piranhas have finished off the last of the sorcerers, and the Ancient One uses all of his remaining strength to destroy them. While he's on the floor, Mordo arrives and strikes the final blow. However, when Wong and Strange arrive, it's shown the Ancient One has no cuts on him. Maybe he just didn't perceive the cuts. Wong and Strange confront Mordo as the children gather. Wong engages Mordo while Strange goes to the children as their eyes glow and they breathe fire. Extremis. Not even once. Wong is taken out of the fight and Steven takes on Mordo. Like all the other fight scenes, the action is slow and jerky, which is terrible. Anyways, the fight doesn't last long as Dormammu sees that Mordo is losing and so decides to eat him. Of course. Dormammu steals the Eye of Agamotto. Oh, yeah, forgot to mention that Wong gave it to Steven. Can you tell I'm invested in this movie? With the eye, Dormammu begins to wreak havoc. This is actually an artist's rendition of what a Trump presidency may or may not look like. Gotta say, I expected way worse. Strange confronts Dormammu and you know how it goes. Strange finds his inner strength, takes back the eye, and assimilates Dormammu or something like that. And the movie ends with Strange and Wong deciding to teach more sorcerers together, even name-dropping Strange's love interest, Clea. Sequel teasing. And that was Doctor Strange from 2007. I did not enjoy this. I've already mentioned my disdain for the stiff animation, so I won't go into it again. The story is your run-of-the-mill origin story, and it does a decent job of building an arc for Strange. The trouble is with the rest of the characters. They're all so stale. They're all there just to fill a purpose, and have no personality outside of wise, or helpful, or evil. Overall, not a fan. If you like it though, fine. I'm glad you could see something in it that I didn't. My opinion though, you'd be better off watching Doctor Strange from 2016 again. Actually, it's not a bad idea. Oh, right. As always, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. This is the Watcher of New Earth, signing off.